Fellas, let me tell you this. Running a whole bunch of game and sleeping with a bunch of women is not the flex that a lot of y'all think it is. It's really not. Trust me. I have nurses that's on both sides of my families. And they tell me all these nightmare hospice stories. A lot of these men, nobody care to come and check on them. Nobody call. Nobody there on holidays. Nobody even care on their birthday. The only attention that they can get is from the nurse that's dealing with them every day, that tolerates them every day. Let me correct myself. Coming in the room, changing them, feeding them, and all this other stuff. And even after death, nobody care to make funeral arrangements. I'm telling you, man, running game and creating kids out of wedlock, they don't know their siblings, but one thing they can agree on is that they despise their father. And that's why it's a lot of men in hospice right now that nobody cares about. They've made that bed and now they got to lie in it in hospice, literally.
Man, that's how it's been since the beginning of time. Men have always been okay with being basically being in a nursing home, being by themselves. It's almost understood. It's almost understood. Now, if you fortunate to have a family, to have children, or to have a wife or that outlive you, because a lot of time your wife don't outlive the guy. It's not a guarantee that's gonna happen. And then it ain't a guarantee that no matter what you do for these kids, they gonna step up to the plate and take care of you and not tuck you away in a nursing home or something like that. So I mean, I get it. I get it. Especially with the flex on just run around sleeping with a whole bunch of women. That's beta anyway. That's beta anyway. And as you grow older, it shows you lack of stability because there's nothing worse than a man in his late 40s and 50s. Well, I ain't gonna even say that. I say in his 40s, run around sleeping with a whole bunch of women and basically, you know, don't have no kind of stability. That looks cool when you're young. I mean, to the young folks, but as you get older, it makes you look like you just a unstable, unresponsible man. It just is. Uh, Go ahead.
So I have a different take on this. We see this often where they're talking about the hospice wife, the men on hospice. Okay, let's think about this. And it's always coming from nurses. Okay, nurses is a female dominant profession. So
Exactly.
what females are going to do, they're going to do what they normally do, talk about men. But what they fail to say is there are a lot of women who are on hospice. There are a lot of women who are in nursing home who's lived loose, fast lives, never settled down, never had any kids, and nobody's coming to see them. Nobody's making funeral arrangements for them. And it's more women in the nursing homes than it is men. So when they create this narrative and they bring that out to him, he say he have several nurses that's in his family. And what they do is tell them about what? The broken down men in the nursing home, which is normally what women talk about anyway. It's men and their downfall. And I get so tired of hearing this same narrative, like if though this is not an equal situation. Instead of we creating a narrative that, hey, we need to look at being together and getting back to loving each other and uplifting each other so that we will have somebody to grow old with as a team. We want to turn around in any profession, wherever it's the dominant profession, and talk about the opposite sex. And every time you hear a nurse speaking, it's always something about the men that are suffering in these nursing homes or the men that are suffering in hospice or the hospital. Guess what? There's many men that they got suffering. They got women suffering double in those facilities. So we need to understand it's not just something that happens to the men, it's happening to the women in record numbers as well. And we need to stop saying that to like put this urgency on men to get their life together. Hey, we all need to get our shit together. It's not just the men. people in a whole need to get their shit together so that you will have a more fruitful life when you're growing older, men and women. Because right now we living in a society where women are talking around, walking around saying we don't need no man. So what's gonna happen to all those women who saying they don't need no man right now when their asses get old?
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I'm definitely
That's
with you on
bullshit.
that. It comes a point in time where we because my biggest thing with the relationships and different uh study of how relationships works and why we going wrong and what's happening, and it came a point in time where earlier w- these shows were created by a lot of women that pointed out everything the men were doing wrong in the relationship, and why we had a bunch of single mothers, why women were no longer having to put up with certain things, issues in relationships. And then uh after a while the men was like, okay, let's point out what y'all doing. So we at that phase right now. But it comes a point in time, especially with uh us black foundational black Americans. I'm gonna say it like that here in America, because American women seems to get the baddest rap for being promiscuous. Uh, well, I ain't gonna say that, man. I ain't gonna say they get the worst, because there's some other country they do some ridiculous shit, man. But we are getting a bad rap for as families are concerned and women being promiscuous. The thing about it, at some point, we need each other.
Mm-hmm.
We need each other, and we're gonna have to figure out a way to exist with each other and put back together some kind of family. Now,
The
I'm not
family structure.
the
Yep.
family structure at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Men gonna have to start playing men part, and women gonna have to start playing the woman part, and then we're gonna have to figure out, how we can make that jail together,
Mm-hmm.
make it jail together.
I
But
agree.
it's we had this phase for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna have to figure out how we gonna be able to put this thing back together, because man, this is something wasn't orchestrated by us. This was orchestrated by the dominant society to break
Mm-hmm.
us apart like this. And when we got broken apart, it's like we went, crazy, man. For lack of better words, it just spiraled out of control on both sides. It just
Mm-hmm.
spiraled out of control. Men said, you know what, I can't be in the family. That, hey, I can't be respected on my job. Black women don't respect me. So you know what, I'm just gonna go out here and I'm gonna meet as many as I can. I'm gonna have the object of the game is have sex with as many as I can and play many as I can and just live my life all willy-nilly, man. And
Mm-hmm.
it's fun at first, but the cost, the people that pay the most cost are the children. That's
Mm-hmm.
who pay the most cost, because
Mm-hmm.
number one, they don't grow up with fathers and they repeat the cycle. Repeat
Mm-hmm.
the cycle, man. And a lot of them kids have a lot of trauma too.
Or the
So
sons are being raised and they grow up feeling like they have to be the man of the house. They have to protect the mama. So instead of them enjoying their career in their young life, the responsibility gets on their shoulder that they have to take up the responsibility and slack for the siblings and for their moms and give them the lifestyle. So it becomes where you forcing some young men to go do things that they just not ready to accept, and it makes it hard for them to even relate to other women because their loyalties lie with their mothers, and the
exactly,
responsibility of taking care of their mother and their siblings when that shouldn't be. It's
exactly,
nothing wrong with helping, but then that responsibility shouldn't be placed on them. And so the mothers start grooming those sons that you need to be able to take care of us. You need to be able to help, you need to look out for your siblings. So you got a young man taking on a heavy responsibility and not even getting to enjoy his teenage life or his young adult life because his mindset has been groomed that I need to take care of my mom and my siblings. That's not fair.
nope,
No.
nope, not at all. And this is a byproduct of the families not being together,
Yep. Yep.
the destruction of the black family.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm with you. You know, I hear a lot of videos, man. I see a lot of people online, nurses mainly, saying that, you know, it's this y'all got to get it together because I see a lot of men in the nursing home. Yeah, that's true. But the difference between men and women is women really not accustomed to dying alone. You know, that's not their
Mm-hmm.
thing. Men, although we don't want to, we know we know at a young age, and we can look around and see, you know, how children take care of their mother versus taking care of their father. It ain't very
Mm-hmm.
hard to see, and we kind of accept the fact that that's probably gonna be our fate if we just don't fall over and die
Mm-hmm.
or get killed. That's just how it is. You know, and women not accustomed to even thinking like that. Because if they got children, they always swear to God that their kids gonna take care of them.
Take care of them.
So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's just how it is. So to try to scare men like this, it's not gonna hit well
No.
because we already accept the fate. We already accept it. And
And
that's
we
just
just
how it
need to
goes.
come to a new narrative of bringing ourselves back together.